So AnetaBTC and people basically can ask questions and answer. It's not a super easy project. Let's be honest. Wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum, right, on Cardano and Ergo. These are not easy things to do. There are also developments. You probably could be aware that there's a Liso right now. So liquid ISO. There are two stake pools which AnetaBTC has, to which you can delegate, and you will receive AnetaBTC tokens for 99% of margin. So you still get 1% of the reward. So it's kind of like similar to Sunday Swap and Melt and these other things. It's an ISO. So yeah, you could also have a lot of questions about that, and anything that actually.
Maybe a good warm up could be to look at some of the top 3 Reddit questions that were asked by the community, and then maybe that would be a good way to flow into the community members asking their questions. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So I believe that the questions have been asked on Reddit, and a lot of people have actually asked. So let's go from the top. What do you think? Lots of the exciting stuff going on with the Liso and staking pools on the ecosystem. On the ErgoDex side of the things, I'm curious if there are plans for specific liquidity pools or some sort of other mechanism to benefit those who are heavily in the Ergo ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, here I go again, calling every question a great question. So, make sure to keep that to a minimum. But so actually, the benefits to Neta holders are the same benefits for CNeta holders. So, whether you're holding Neta or CNeta, you're entitled to the exact same governance, voting, protocol fees, and all ownership rights to our community fund, the Neta Liquidity Fund. So in that sense, they pretty much are the exact same. So if something is good for CNeta holders, then equally it should be good for Neta holders.
Awesome. Let's go further. What are the strategic advantages of the multiple DEX partners? If AnetaBTC is an Ergo native asset and ErgoDex is already building a bridge to Cardano, what does everyone bring to the table?
That's a great question. Oh wow, that's twice now. Here we go. It's like what's it called? Auto fire or something. But anyways, you know, for us, we really believe in abundance. You know, and when we're looking at you know, the most talented teams in the ecosystem, it's and you're looking at the dexes and even ErgoDex and Minswap, for example. You know, the way we see it is that it shouldn't be, oh, is it ErgoDex or Minswap? You know, it should be ErgoDex and Minswap. Both of these teams are extremely talented, and I mean, I think as we've seen how other blockchains have played out, there's not just going to be one DEX, and it's good to have multiple options. And hopefully we've started to show already the opportunities that actually come with working together with these different great alternatives, because it allows us as a community to open up the door to different possibilities, such as things like the Liso, where now just if you're holding Neta CNeta, thanks to our delegators who help us build the Neta Liquidity Fund, now you have a chance to earn both ErgoDex and Minswap tokens. So generally speaking, I don't think it's as important to figure out like, these are two dexes, how are we going to make it work together? But realize that, you know, at the end of the day, the mission of all of our teams, we're trying to build something really special. And like, regardless of the exact products that are being built, sort of as a team per se, we need to come together and bring out the best resources so that we can provide the best experience to the community. So that's why I'm so excited about our different DEX partners. And this could, oh, it looks like Ilya and Minswap are in, maybe they could even touch on that a bit as well.
Hi guys, Badr here from Minswap. I just want to add also to what AnetaBTC team mentioned. I think if we look at it from a higher level, is all of us, we share a vision of decentralization, and we all look at long-standing partnerships that allows us to continue building essential tools to expand DeFi and also expand the Cardano as a whole.
Awesome. Let's move on. We have a lot of questions. Are there any plans to lock vest any % of the total supply of Neta, CNeta, especially core team share, or should all 2 billion tokens be considered to be in supply?
Well, right now, I guess to a certain extent, I guess right now it sort of depends on what you count as circulating supply. Like in Ergo's example, I guess a part of the algorithm has made it so that literally the other half of their supply pretty much right now just doesn't exist. Like, it has to be mined over time. But in our case, all of the 2 billion tokens have already been minted. So by that gauge, I mean, everything is pretty much in supply one way or another. And now you guys know we've been, a big part for us is transparency. And you can actually look at both of the wallets holding Neta and CNeta. And I think both the two wallets currently hold about 99%, maybe 98% of Neta CNeta supply. But I don't know. I think technically speaking, they're in circulation, but I mean, we pretty much plan to keep everything in the wallets for everyone to watch and keep track of.
All right, let's move on. What do you think?
I'd like to add one more thing.
Yes, please do.
Additionally, I'd say it's cool to prepare for an announcement we're hoping to make tonight that I think will excite a lot of our community members, specifically our early delegators. But also with that, we start mentioning sort of the plans that we have for the rest of the public distribution. And we do plan, I think, to incorporate staking Neta and CNeta as a part of that. And if you guys remember from the tokenomics, if I remember correctly, I think it's about 44% that hasn't been announced yet, right? So it's 70% total public distribution, but 44% hasn't even been announced. So there's a whole bunch of things that we're excited to share with you guys, and that should be out by next week or so.
Awesome. What do you think about the Ergo Manifesto? Somebody is asking.
Wow. The Ergo Manifesto, and from talking with the Ergo community members, I don't think I'm alone in saying this, but I think it really inspired me personally to strongly reconsider the whole purpose of why Bitcoin was created in the first place. I think when Ergo came into my life, I know they've launched since 2019, but by the time that I had found out about them, it almost seemed like that's what the crypto space really needed desperately, because, and even we mentioned this in our light paper, where, our industry is getting to a point where I think decentralization is becoming less commonplace. And as we'll see a lot of influence from the bankers and the VCs, and we can get into Solana and Wormhole and all the hacks and the terrible things that are happening. But so that's why it's really important for us to stick to the values of the Ergo Manifesto. And I think what struck me the most is that I think I have a good sense of telling when people are being genuine. I think I have a pretty good BS meter in terms of if people are how bad they actually say that they want to do something that they say they're going to do. And as soon as I read Ergo Manifesto, for some reason, it was pretty obvious for me that this was not a gimmick. You know, this is something real that's happening, and people that are gonna wake up every day and fight for this mission. So ever since I've read that, I've made it a part of my mission, and I've been waking up every day since, trying to build a brighter future that was led out by the Ergo Manifesto. Also, Maddie, I think Ilya has requested to speak. Maybe you could say a few words on that as well.
I have approved everybody that requested.
Okay. It looks like it says Ilya Askin requested, but maybe it wasn't accepted.
Well, maybe you got the request, and then you accept, please, for this person.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm co-host. Hey, Ilya,
Yeah.
I just added you.
Hey, guys. Yeah, on Ergo Manifesto, as I said earlier, it's like a source of inspiration for me, personally. It's like it's very well aligned with my set of values. So that's all I have to say about it.
Well, and I think I think the power of the Ergo Manifesto has sort of been displayed even with coming together and our community coming on this call together this morning. I know it's afternoon for you guys, but for me, morning. And, you know, I know even for AnetaBTC and ErgoDex, having that shared vision of the Ergo Manifesto makes it a lot easier to work together. Because when we propose things and we want to continue working on projects, everything that we do pretty much is with the Ergo Manifesto in the back of our head. So usually it's a lot easier to work on projects and execute projects when everyone sort of has that same mission and vision, and a lot of that is due to Ergo Manifesto. So I'm very grateful for that.
All right, let's continue maybe, shall we? At first, you have a partnership with ErgoDex, KyberSwap and Minswap. Do you plan to add new partnerships in the future that could lead to more income for the fund?
Hey, let's not forget about our Cardano fans partnership too. That's but yeah, you know, that's a good question. You know, for us, and we've been extremely transparent with our partners, and pretty much with everything we do, we try to be transparent. We're very much focused on quality over quantity. We'll never be a project that's going to have 56 million partnerships and, you know, you announce it once and then you never hear about it again. I think, you know, that's, it sort of ties into the things that we were hinting at in our light paper. You know, where it seemed like there was like a lack of almost authenticity in the space where people don't actually care about working together and working and building cool things. But so for us, you know, when we were taking a look at it, we realized that the only way to actually have strong, long-lasting partnerships are to be very selective with who you work with. And, you know, our team at AnetaBTC is extremely grateful to be working with ErgoDex, Minswap, and Kyber Network. So, you know, in the future, when things come along, I'm sure we'll add additional strategic partnerships. But for now, you know, we feel like we have what we need to move forward and keep getting better every day. So we'll see what the future holds, but right now we don't have anything particular in mind.
Yeah, the person makes an assumption that adding more partnerships leads to more income. It's a very bold assumption. It could be exactly opposite. By having too many things that you are working on, you could actually stop being focused. Yeah. Minswap recently partnered with Indigo, a user is asking. Indigo will be releasing synthetic assets, I-assets, synthetic BTC and other I-assets to the Minswap DEX. My question is there any difference from these I-assets, what Aneta is trying to accomplish, and what Aneta's competitive advantage is? My question is, what will the delivery method be for Liso? I believe DripDropz is great, but a bad choice for the long-term solution. Having too many to manually retrieve a pay for fee each time will probably get old fast.
Okay, cool. I'll answer the last part of that question because I guess that's what I remember best. But let's see. Okay, actually, I guess we can talk about Minswap and Indigo first, and then you might have to remind me of the other question. But so yeah, Minswap and Indigo. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a talk with Long. What are you doing, man? Why are you doing these partner? I'm just kidding. No, I think it's great. You know, at the end of the day, like I said before, our team, you know, our whole sort of ethos and values is abundance. You know, so I don't think it is. Oh, is it Indigo or AnetaBTC? You know, it doesn't have to be like that. I think it's Indigo and AnetaBTC. And, you know, quite honestly, in order for us to have a healthy ecosystem and continue to evolve, it's good to have a little friendly competition, especially for our team here. You know, we've explained in our first M&A AMM that a lot of our team met from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So naturally, we're a very competitive bunch. So I would say competition excites us more than, you know, it makes us worried. And so that's sort of how we look at it. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to wake up every day and we're going to keep building this protocol and do the best job that we can. Now, in terms of specific competitive advantage, you know, that's things are still very early. But, you know, one obvious thing is that CNeta and Neta, half of it is on Ergo. And that gives you a lot of sort of applications with their different built-in privacy tools. And it opens up the world to do all of these funky little airdrops that we've been doing. And there's a whole bunch of cool ways that you can interact with the platform. So, you know, are they doing something similar? Yes. But ultimately, I think it's healthy for our ecosystem. And hopefully we'll bring out the best qualities in both teams.
May I add to the difference between Indigo and Aneta? Hello?
Hey, yeah, go ahead.
I think, So I think that Indigo and Aneta, they are very different in terms of bringing Bitcoin to Cardano. So for Indigo, it's over collateralized that. So I think it's like synthetic where you need like 5x of the asset to mint wrap BTC on Cardano, but Aneta is like a bridge. So, for example, if I want to mint a BTC on Cardano, I need like more than 100,000 USD. But for Aneta, it's different. For Aneta, is for use cases. Like, for example, if I have one Bitcoin on Bitcoin network and I want to bring it to Cardano, then I need to go through a bridge, and that's what Aneta is for. So I think that they are very different. They are for different use cases, and I don't think it's a competition. And actually, Indigo will need a good liquidation mechanism to work on Cardano, but Aneta doesn't need a liquidation mechanism because it doesn't rely on Oracle and over collateralize that.
Yeah, Long, that's a great point. Thank you for sharing. And you know, I think a cool part about our protocol is without having to access these oracles and this real world data, I think it increases the probability of security, or at least you feel better about the security because it's sort of one less thing to worry about when you're building the protocol where, you know, it's really important for us to have an approach that is the most secure possible. And we think that that's done by remaining as simple as possible. So when we're integrating a lot of these concepts, a lot of what we're trying to think is how can we accomplish what we need to do in the most precise and concise way possible.
Yeah, another part of the question was about DripDropz. The person was alluding that this is a bad idea as a long-term solution. I don't know why. Probably having to manually retrieve and pay a fee each time will probably get old fast. Okay, so this is the reasoning that they are giving. but I'm actually not sure what do they mean 100%, because by definition, ISO is a short-term process, right? It's not supposed to run forever.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's where AnetaBTC took a bit of a different path than some of the other projects where, I think someone said on Twitter, they were like, hey, if you guys, only have one pool that's fully saturated, it'll take 5 years for your Liso to run out. And so there's an interesting element there. But, the whole part of our Liso was to ensure something long-term. We really try to incorporate with everything we do, incentivizing long-term participation and rewarding the people that were with us from the beginning. Now, in terms of DripDropz, there's a few different things, a few different alternatives. What's so beautiful about the space in Cardano and Ergo is that there's so many different ways to do the same thing, essentially. So, even your example on DripDropz, I completely agree with you, because for example, and as we stated in our article, that, you can expect to at least get 6 CNeta. Well, you don't want to claim that every 5 days, because if the transaction fee is 1.7 ATA, I believe, well, suddenly, you're pretty much losing most of what you made. So we have every intention to allow rewards to accumulate to provide the best user experience. And sort of like you said, in the future, I think the ideal scenario in the future to provide the best experience to our customers is to sort of build out our internal system. So we're going to talk with some of our engineers and begin trying to orchestrate that.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. Another question. Where are you raising funds for initial development? Have you already issued tokens for the development team? If you have any specific milestones for the token distribution plan in light paper, please share them. And one more thing is that please share the current development status. And it is better that you share it periodically. The first part of the question was, where are you raising funds for initial development? Have you already issued tokens for the development team?
Okay, great. So let's see here. So far, still, I mean, we told you guys sort of from the start, what our plan was. And even in the tokenomics, we laid it out. And I think a part of the 25% team allocation is potential angel investors if, we feel as if it's in the best interest of our community members. But up to this point, we still haven't accepted a dime from any VCs, banks, or outside investors. We're very fortunate to have these opportunities, but for us, we're very mission driven, and we really believe in doing what's best for our community members. And we just haven't found that investor partner that I think, sort of has the same mission and vision as us. But when the time comes around and it seems like a place like, we're ready to ramp things up 1,000%, we're definitely open to it. But, we have no plans to compromise our values in terms of working with VCs to receive money, because at the end of the day, and sort of like the question I'd asked is, how are you paying these developers? We're paying this out entirely out of our own pockets. So this is something that, every day we're investing the money that we've earned to build this. But it's worth it because, we believe in this 100%. And quite honestly, we don't think there's anything else that is quite as important to be pursued right now for at least, our team and our capabilities. So, we're going to continue to fund it and to continue paying our engineers. And like we said, and no tokens have, like I said, you guys can check the wallets. All the tokens, both Neta, CNeta, are just sitting in this wallet right now. So, and I think a big thing for us is to really establish a good relationship with our community. And I think that's what we've done so far. And, they've trusted us with a great responsibility, to do right by them. And I think together we're really starting to build strong rapport. So maybe down the line we need to do something. We need to have a talk and say, hey guys, look, we need to pay our engineers. We're gonna send them some of these tokens, and that'll be that. So but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're pretty much just focused on doing what's best for the community. And it's nice, I think, as a community that we have this flexibility where we can still sustain paying our engineers and continue to make progress as a community without having to rely on an outside bank. So that's where things currently stand.
Okay, could you answer the question about the current development status as well, please?
Yes. Okay, so the current development status. So behind the scenes, I'm very proud of the engineering team and the progress that we've been making. And I'm looking for, at this point, we pretty much figured that it makes sense to release what we've been doing at the Ergo Hack 3 event, which is, I want to say, in about 10 days or so. But in terms of the development right now, we're working on a few different things, but the main thing is getting all the infrastructure together. So in terms of the front end, the landing pages, running implementations of the back end and testing the back end. And so on the back end, we're trying to, and we explained this in the light paper, that a big part of our approach was interlay and X-chain, and the white paper by them. So basically what our engineers have been working on the last couple of months in terms of the backend have been studying both that and then the implementation of RenVM. We've pretty much gotten to a point where we decided that X-chain is definitely the best way to go. But we've also made a lot of progress on Ergo and RenVM. So we don't think that's going to, I mean, it's not going to be our core protocol from the way that it looks. But we still plan to open source it and write a paper on it and explain what we learned so that maybe someone can take it and continue to do something cool with it while we continue to focus on the X-chain implementation. And then recently on the front end, on the actual wrapping UI, we were successfully able to implement Nami and Yoroi wallet. So that was cool for us, and it's definitely something we're planning to demo at Ergo Hack along with the other projects that we're building. Additionally, I don't know if we've publicly announced this yet. Well, I think a little bit, and we also put it in our white paper, but we've had a Neta wallet on our mind for a while now. So that's another thing that we'll be displaying at Ergo Hack 3, and the progress is going very well on that. Our hope for this wallet is that it's a mobile wallet that can, it's more or less the Ergo mobile wallet, if you guys have used that before, by Ben, who developed that. But with the addition of being able to hold Bitcoin. And I actually think we're getting ready to launch that, I think like within 2 or 3 weeks is my hope. And then hopefully about a month or 2 months after that, we'll be able to launch the final version of full Bitcoin compatibility. So yeah, I mean, right now, every day, we're just trying to make a little bit of progress one day at a time. But in terms of landing page, front end, all this stuff is probably nearing about 70 to 80% completion. And now we're pretty much getting ready to finally port the X-chain concepts over to Ergo, and then after that, focus on Cardano.
Okay, thank you. What will be the yield farming options for Neta and CNeta on ErgoDex and Minswap respectively? The percent, duration, and token pairings. Thank you. User asks.
Maybe Ilya or Long might want to touch on that.
Yeah, so now we have 2 pools with Neta token. It's SIG USD pair to Neta and Ergo SIG USD pool. So 2 pools in total. And as for additional yield farming capabilities, such as maybe staking of Neta token, that hasn't been discussed yet, but we are working on in ErgoDex on something like a tool chain for developers that are launching on ErgoDex. For example, to let every project which has a pool on ErgoDex to set up their own, like maybe reward program for their tokens, or staking using ErgoDex tools, basically ErgoDex UI. So that's a bunch of potential use cases for that.
All right. Thank you. So let's go with another one. Will it be possible to convert between Neta and CNeta? And how?
Yeah, in the future, definitely. I mean, in terms of a direct bridge, even now, you can indirectly swap your Neta for CNeta. You know, anyone in the world can, you know, take their ErgoDex and sell it for ERG, and then send your ERG to KuCoin and trade your ERG for ADA, and then trade your ADA for CNeta. So already you can, you know, you can swap them. Now, granted, is it the most seamless way to swap assets? Absolutely not. So yeah, we're working on a bridge. It's in the works. Don't exactly have a exact timeline on when to expect that, but no, it certainly makes sense to us that that should be a service that's available to the community. Obviously, everything that we want to keep things as decentralized as we can, and for a little bit we were discussing internally, like, do we want to have a centralized bridge for now, where like we are the reserve and people can exchange seamlessly, or do we just want to wait until we have an actual decentralized bridge? So, you know, to that, honestly, I leave that up to the community in terms of we can have a talk and figure out what they think is best. You know, I'm somewhat indifferent because, you know, ultimately I think what we're trying to consider is, you know, both our Neta and CNeta holders, and the different, I guess, sort of not obstacles that they're facing, but the different parts of the experience, and we want to make that as seamless as possible. So yeah, we'll have a talk with the community and figure out the best implementation, but 100% a direct bridge is very important.
All right. So there are more questions, but we would also like that audience here has an opportunity to ask questions. Yeah, so let's start with the Cardano Blockchain insights first. So we have a lot of ideas what we can still bring. The problem is only the time. It's not the lack of ideas. For instance, one of the things that we want to do is we want to work with a project called Building on Cardano. They have a nice API where we can present in each particular category, like stablecoin or NFT, how many projects are building on Cardano. And you will be able to see this over epochs or over days. So this is one thing. I don't remember everything off the top of my head, I have to confess. But a second thing we want to do is to experiment with a concept called NFT as an access token, or generally token as an access token, right? So what's it called? Like you connect the wallet, sorry, and then your wallet session is associated with our backend. Then if you hold, for instance, a Cardano funds token or some NFTs that we will be minting in the future, then you will have access to the premium area, excuse me. And in the premium area, you will have, for instance, some advanced price prediction model or something like that, because we noticed that everybody comes to our pages, Cardano Blockchain Insights, and go immediately to the price prediction page, which is at the moment quite a simple version, but we can do much more advanced price prediction model. I know personally a few data scientists that specialize in the price prediction models. And that is not to say that it will be perfect price prediction model or that will work, but it's definitely more features that we can take into account. Right now, the current price prediction model takes only price into account and maybe volume. So it's super simple. And as you can see, it also doesn't work, right? Because it's predicting now that it should go up, but actually it's going down. So price prediction model is only as good as you can get, but we will explore some of the premium graphs. Maybe in the worst case scenario, but I hope not to do this, to be honest, that even though some of the ones that we already have, we will make them premium. But these are all the things that still need to be discussed. We also planning to launch NFTs, very similar to CC Vault. So CC Vault launched Mesmerizer NFTs. So we have also another community member that we are working with to launch something similar. Although it will not be from like this, but a little bit different NFTs. But quite cool. I really like that concept. And we also want to pitch for the Catalyst funds for some of the things that we are planning to do. We have a lot of great ideas. Yeah, so we have more ideas than we have development capacity, I would say, but it's definitely not easy for us as developers to sustain ourselves. So right now, of course, it's great because we are a Sunday Swap partner. So we have like 65 million delegation to our stake pool. So this is insane. But in the past, we had like maybe 10, right, or something like that. So this was the only way to pay for bills, so to speak. And in terms of partnership with AnetaBTC, we will see. Very soon, you will see very cool dashboards done by us. In fact, Frosty already pre-announced it a little bit. And we will see basically what kind of needs we can fulfill within AnetaBTC project that we will continue further. My co-founder, Andre, is already asked yesterday, like, hey, Frosty, we need more tasks. We are done with the dashboard. So he's also very eager to help and contribute, yeah? I hope that answers your question. At least the first part.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And my second question was for Frosty. What is the one thing that you're most excited in your near future or short future? Maybe Ergo Hack 3. That's what I was expecting. But yeah, you answered.
So the thing I'm most excited for in the near future, Ergo Hack 3 is definitely a big one. I really, ever since I was maybe like, I don't know, 17 or 18, I've really enjoyed hackathons. A lot of my early experience with technology and development and working on teams and coming up with these crazy ideas came from these university hackathons that I started attending. And then I think I mentioned to you guys that you guys know that I also helped organize Ergo Hack 2. And then also back at BU, I think for 2 or 3 years, I also helped organize a bunch of hackathons for them. So, just, I don't know why, but I've always held hackathons very near and dear to my heart. I think it's just because I've had a great experience most that I've went to with the people I've met and the things that you could learn in 1 hour of a hackathon that you couldn't learn in 3 months of university course. So definitely excited for Ergo Hack 2, but I think generally speaking, what I'm most excited for right now is time and seeing how everything sort of unravels day by day, because I truly believe we're building something very special here. And I think as time goes on, hopefully with our actions and with our community support, it'll become more and more obvious, if it's not already, that we're really here to bring some positive things to the community. So I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for the Liso, and I'm proud of the approach that we've taken so far, because we wanted to be extremely long-term oriented, and those that believed in us early on and delegated with us will be rewarded for that. And I don't think that should come as a surprise to anybody, because that's pretty much what we've always done, is take care of our people, specifically the people that were there from us from the beginning. So with that being said, I'm super excited about this Liso concept, and watching this fund grow from nothing, I think is something I'm very much looking forward to, just because it's an idea that I haven't really seen implemented before, and I think it'll be really cool as a community for us to all be a part of this. And I think it's just about just shy of 40,000 wallets are holding Neta and CNeta. So, and every holder gets to benefit from the Liso and the Neta Liquidity Fund. And even like what we had mentioned with the analytics and the dashboard and the great work Maddie and Andre have been doing, we're very excited to just be, I think, transparent with what we're doing. So, even on the analytics dashboard page, for all of these assets that we acquire through the Neta Liquidity Fund, we're going to be tracking those wallets and show that on the dashboard. So I think it'll just be a really cool experience for our community to be able to look at this fund grow and say, oh my gosh, guys, like we own 2 Bitcoin. How crazy is that? And then ultimately how governance plays into this with deciding what to do with the fund. So I would say outside of the core protocol and outside all of the cool technical things we have coming up and participating in Ergo Hack 3, I'm very excited to see how the Liso turns out.
All right. We have more people that would like to speak. I don't remember exactly order, but I think it was Attila that wanted to speak first.
Yes, definitely. Hi, thank you. I have questions to Ilya and Frosty. Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so Ilya said that you're developing a toolchain for all the partners to introduce their own reward systems. And tying into this, I think it's a very interesting market situation right now that there's a heavy arbitrage opportunity between CNeta and Neta. And these two together, it's I think it's a very interesting, I wouldn't say concerning because we're not at that point yet, but I was wondering maybe this hurts the Liso in a way that a lot of CNeta holders, just as myself, pivoted into Neta because of this opportunity. So the question that rose in me is how much did you notice of this? What your concept to handle this is, and how do you think this will influence the Liso and the effectiveness of the Liso that a lot of CNeta holders just simply migrated to Neta over Ergo? Thank you.
Well, let me start answering this question. I think as for huge arbitrage opportunities that are seen now on ErgoDex markets, especially, what I think is that actually arbitrage is totally valid behavior of actors in the system because it's just natural process. But we can think of how we as the community can take advantage of these opportunities. So not some specific actors only benefit from these arbitrage opportunities, but the community as a whole. And for that to be solved, first of all, we must solve a few core problems and allow the network, like establish some kind of rules in the network that would allow to, for example, run arbitrage bots to allow multiple parties run arbitrage bots in decentralized manner and share those profits from this arbitrage between, for example, holders of ErgoDex token or some other token. Share the profits among community. But for that, we need some kind of side chain for specific for ErgoDex protocol. So that's one of vectors we are working on currently.
Thank you, Ilya. And, Ilya brings up a good point. In the future, there probably will be arbitrage bots. And that's something that we even attempted to consider implementing. But at the end of the day, like we said, we really try to keep our community in mind. And these arbitrage opportunities are available to our community members. So you guys are free to arbitrage as much as you like. For us, the value is the exact same. We see no difference in the value of either of those two tokens. We definitely don't have to get too much into price discussions and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, they should be the same price. And I think the market will do its thing. And, markets aren't always rational, right? So a lot of people are asking, how is this possible? Well, as we know, markets are not always rational. And so in the future, we'd like to do some arbitrage bots that will do everything completely perfectly. But for now, we thought it was best to sort of leave that up for our community and give them a chance to earn some profits.
Yeah, that's thank you for the answers or the replies. It's valid. It's absolutely valid replies from one side, but on the other side, for me, it looks as though that even though the price action is more favorable to hold Neta instead of CNeta, the further rewards for holders look a bit more elaborated on and worked out a little better for CNeta holders. So this is just a weird situation for me that I'm trying to wrap my mind around at this point.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, our community has every right to decide, do I want to hold CNeta or do I want to hold Neta? But, pretty much all we can say is that we recognize no difference in the value of those two tokens, and represents the same ownership and governance and voting rights to the same protocol. And that's pretty much all we can say about that.
Okay, thank you. Let's wait for the bridge to happen and see what happens.
All right. Thanks for checking in.
Probably last question, because we'll have to wrap up, would be from Block Jock.
Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for allowing me to speak and being a part of this call. Extraordinarily excited for everything that you guys are doing and what you're bringing to the ecosystem, both in Ergo and Cardano. I know that Frosty actually one of the speakers mentioned having to do with a Neta wallet. Just recently we had an issue surrounding Sunday swap drop and the extraordinarily large transaction volume that was happening on the blockchain for Cardano. And through that, through necessity came invention, and NAMI wallet put out a custom node field in order to put in a custom submit API URL. And from that, it allowed a variety of people to be able to get on and not have to go through the Blockfrost API, which was severely overloaded. What's happened from that is that we've had quite a few SPOs that have galvanized together and allowed a relay to be used, and one of their private with their private relay and their submit API, and we're starting to use that and test that on a regular basis. NAMI currently is the only one that's allowing that custom node to be inputted. Is there a possibility that Ergo and or CNeta or Neta would allow that with their wallet going forward?
That is very cool. And I like NAMI a lot. And like I said, our engineers are very familiar with it too, as that's one of the two wallets that we had integrated into our swapping our wrapping front end. And also the key difference here too is that as opposed to the Light wallet, the initial implementation of the wallet will be on the Ergo mobile wallet. So the initial mobile wallet will be holding ERG assets, which is already connected to its own set of nodes and whatnot, as opposed to this light wallet, which sort of has this sounds like this almost sidechain implementation or private implementation. And so, yeah, I mean, in the future, I think it sounds like a great idea, and we'll probably most definitely take components from Nami. And we're very grateful for people like Nami that are just building the coolest projects and then open sourcing it for the community to build on top of and, hopefully improve our ecosystem. So yeah, we're definitely going to pull components from Nami in the future. But right now for Aneta wallet, the focus is the Ergo mobile wallet. And we'll continue to update you guys on that.
Got it. The follow-up to that would be with Cardano fans. And so freeloaders with a Z.io we're just 2 weeks old. And all the SPOs are getting together using a redundant relay that they already have. So this is all existing infrastructure that is already there and is available to use. And we're doing testing currently through about 4 or 5 submit APIs with a very good transaction time result. And going forward, we're looking to include others that are of like mind that would love to create partnerships with in that regard and be able to use this free service to allow everybody to get the stable footing in order to get your transactions in and get them done in a timely manner. So I appreciate you guys' time and thanks for all you do. And as an Ergo holder and a Neta holder, here's to the future.
Right on, Blockjock. And yeah, thanks for joining in and asking the questions. And yeah, anytime, please reach out. We'd definitely be interested to talk more and hear more about this implementation.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We'll have to be wrapping this up. It's already 4 o'clock here, the local time in Berlin. Yeah, so thank you all. It is being recorded. So for those of you that are not here, they will be able to see, to listen to this, and it will not be the last time, hopefully. Right, Frosty, that we are doing this kind of community update?
Absolutely not. No, we love doing these things, and thank you again to our partners ErgoDex and Minswap for joining us today and hanging out with us for a little bit. ErgoDex and Minswap, do you guys have any? Would you like to give us some sort of quick updates on where you guys are at and what you guys are looking forward to before we wrap up?
Yeah, so regarding Aneta, there will be an opportunity to earn Aneta token if you are an early user of Minswap, and the detail will be announced before mainnet launch. So stay tuned for it.
Yeah, and we and ErgoDex are finalizing our Cardano implementation of ErgoDex, like first evaluation of it. And also soon we are going to announce the updated roadmap for ErgoDex development.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. And again, thank you to Maddie and the team at Cardano Fans. And yeah, like I said, the last thing that for me is tonight you guys can expect an announcement, I want to say around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to try to get that out for you guys. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So again, thank you everyone for joining us and for everyone.
Trapped inside this heart of mine. Heart of mine. Heart of mine.
Take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you